seen a beautiful picture which is seen outside, that is Professor Sanjay Vishwas, and whose brainchild is the All India Progressive Forum. Many people used to say me, Dr. Shanti, as a terror piece, but he is a terror piece for me, and he is very 100 times faster than me. And he came to our house and he said we should have such kind of a thing. And that time he was the Dean of the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. And he was, I can understand even today how he's visionary. And unfortunately, after starting the All India Progressive Forum, in a very short time, he passed away. And for now, we are going to pay a floral tribute to Professor Sanjay Vishwas. I request all of you to come outside to pay the floral tribute to Professor Sanjay Vishwas. And then the... Yes.
Floral tribute.
Johar to Vishwas sir. Johar to Vishwas sir.
My good friends, we have started working together from 1983 onwards, and now finally it has come to this stage. So I am very happy that his photograph is there at the entrance to this. Thank you.
Right?
Yeah, it's a sketch. Yes, nice. Your speech, that's your speech.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. No, okay. Disturb பண்ணாம போட்டோ எடுத்து உட்காந்துக்கோங்க. ஆனா பேனர் தெரியல மாதிரி போட்டோ எடுங்க. போட்டோ வித்தவுட் பேனர் சரி உட்காந்துக்கோங்க. Comrades, be seated. Anybody is outside, please come inside.
Respected Chairperson and National Council President of All India Progressive Forum, Mr. M. Vijay Kumar, General Secretary Anil Rajagopal, Vice President Yugal Rayulu, nsISISD Managing Director and very good Marxist scholar of Tamil Nadu, Mr. K. Sandanam, National Executive Committee Member of AIPF, Dr. A. Shanti, Tamil Nadu Honorary President of AIPF, very good writer, progressive writer, M.D. Rajkumar, President R. Krishnamurthy, Working President Nephrologist Dr. Venkatesh, he could not come, G. Murali, P. Kalidasan, Tamil Nadu Art and Literary, Shanti, Dr. Aram, State Vice President Dr. Vaidegi, Dr. Ramesh, delegates who have come from various states. On behalf of AIPF Tamil Nadu State Council, I would like to extend our New Year greetings and best wishes to you all. It gives profound happiness to welcome Professor Dr. late Sanjay Vishwas and progressive leader, late Sudha Reddy, contributed a lot in founding this organization and choosing this name. It is a duty to remember them in this occasion. Our association name is Progressive Forum. In general, people of Tamil Nadu are progressive-minded people. The first South Indian communist, Singaravelar, rationalist leader, Periyar, the great Marxist scholar, progressive poet, writer, trade union leader, Jeevanandam, and others inseminated progressive ideas in Tamil Nadu. All India Progressive Forum has been functioning in Tamil Nadu since its inception at all India level. In Tamil Nadu, we have a lot of state level, district level seminars, symposiums, workshops, and other programs on various topics. Before the onset of COVID-19, in January 2020, we organized a national seminar on caste system, economic and social justice. Now, for the second time, we are organizing this seminar, national seminar, on the same dates at the same venue in Tamil Nadu. So on the same date, we started in 2020, the same time. Comparing to that time, we are delighted to see a large number of delegates from various states participating today. Similarly, the presence of numerous medical students and young people in this seminar is heartening. The seminar is being organized at the request of all India leadership. The elections in Tamil Nadu are approaching soon and the political atmosphere is very charged. In such a situation, organizing this seminar involves many challenges. Nevertheless, based on the request of the All India leadership, we are conducting this seminar. We extend our profound thanks to the national leadership for giving this opportunity. The seminar is being held on the topic of paradigm shift in technology, impact on service sectors. Dear friends, modern science and technology, information technology, artificial intelligence, robotics, automation, etc. encompassed by the fourth industrial revolution are having a profound impact on service sectors, including medicine, education, manufacturing activities, and the media. The fourth industrial revolution is causing qualitative changes in human life and culture. The science and technological revolution, STR, offers numerous benefits to humankind. It has improved the quality of human life. It provides new employment opportunities. At the same time, it is eliminating the jobs of crores of people and increasing unemployment. This trend is going to bring about enormous socio-economic, political and cultural changes. We hope this seminar will discuss these issues. Various views are being propagated, such as the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and automation will make human labor redundant. That the future of human labor is in question. That it will render the Karl Marx surplus value theory absolute. That class struggle, social revolution, social changes are no longer possible. And that machines starting to think and act like humans will enslave humanity. We hope this seminar will deliberate all these aspects. All India Progressive Forum is conducting the seminar in collaboration with the Institute of South Indian Studies and Doctors Association of Social Equality, who share its perspectives. Numerous scholars are going to present papers at this seminar. Over 30 research papers are going to be presented. We hope this seminar will be a historical and successful one. Large number of people have helped a lot to organize this seminar successfully. Tamil Nadu Primary Health Center, RCH, Sanitary Contract Workers Association, Contract Sanitary Workers Association, MRB COVID Nurses Association, Paramedical, Lab, Educational and Welfare Association, All India Bank Employees Association, Doctors Association for Social Equality, Tamil Nadu Medical Students Association, Tamil Nadu Medical Students Association, Foreign Medical Graduates Wing, Institute of South Indian Studies, and various other organizations helped a lot. Our sincere thanks to them. Dear friends, we believe we have made the necessary arrangements to some extent for the participants coming from different regions. If there are any shortcomings, we express our regret for them. On behalf of All India Progressive Forum, Tamil Nadu State Council, we welcome you all again. Thank you again. Next, Mr.
Actually, the one book will release because comrade was.
Sometimes artist,
Yes,
sometimes.
that is good. So I request Mr. Kalidasan to honor our NCBH Director, Mr. Sandhanam.
Photo எடுங்க, winner.
அப்புறம் அப்படியே புக் ரிலீஸ் பண்ணிட்டு அவர் கைக்கு சொல்லுறோம். ஜமீன்தார் தான். சரி. So another happy moment. Last time, because of the COVID, we could not come out with a book of the seminar. This time, so we want to give it before itself. So I urge all the speakers to send the papers early so that it will be done in a good manner. So the seminar book is ready. The seminar book is ready now. That is, Comrade Yugal Rai was very particular to release this seminar book before itself so that it catches the eyes of everybody. So now, Mr. Sandhanam will release this seminar book. The first copy will be received by our Comrade Jamindar. Very good. Yeah, Samne.
First copy of the
நம்ம எல்லார் கையிலும் ஒன்று ஒன்று வச்சு
At this juncture, I thank immensely our Comrade G. Murali, for making this successful release of this book. And I request Comrade Sandhanam to have his inaugural address.
நல்லா இருக்கு
All India Progressive Forum. Doctors Association for Social Equality and our esteemed organization, Institute of South Indian Studies, jointly organizing this seminar. First of all,
நல்லா தான் இருக்கு
I want to thank All India Leadership Forum, All India Progressive Forum. When Dr. Ravindranath approached me to conduct this concert seminar on this particular subject,
நல்லா பேசுறாரு மைக் கிட்ட வைக்கணும்
he told me, in seminar there is only purpose to be presented. All purpose would be given to our institute. We will publish it, otherwise share the DASE with you. Then we accepted. Now he compelled me to release this. It's okay, but if we edit, then surely we will release in book format in English and Tamil. Surely I appreciate this initiative. This is very particular and hottest topic because Tamil Nadu is well known for its contribution to world global labor market. That is very important. Not only unskilled labor market, skilled labor market, global labor market is maximum fulfilled by, maximum percentage fulfilled by Tamil Nadu laborers. So that is very important key factor in Tamil Nadu, some unique character is there. So, if you want to analyze a implication on working force and other things, you have to understand the Tamil Nadu role separately. Because some unique character and commonality is also there. At the same time, the unique character is Tamil Nadu's wealth is based upon this skill level. That is very important. That is the contribution of communist movement, Dravidian movement, and national movement. Three movements contributed this trend in Tamil Nadu. Like the great leader Kamarajar and our left leader Comrade Jivanandam, the great founder of Communist Party of India, Comrade Singaravellu, C.N. Annadurai, Kalaignar Karunanidhi, now present Chief Minister Stalin, all of them are contributing to develop this culture in Tamil Nadu. That is, education is a primary source to overcome all the hurdles in the society. So, they encourage to educate from primary to higher level. This is the source of Tamil Nadu. This issue should be addressed here, I think. So, again, I promise you, all the papers will be published by nsISISD and our institute in Tamil and English. For this great opportunity, I thank all the leaders of All India Progressive for okay, thank you.
Thank you. I know his busy schedule. He has to leave for an important meeting. I was really wondering whether he will come today or not. Thank you. Next will be, what is AIPF? The introductory address by Dr. Yugal Rayanu. Akash to honor Yugal Rayanu.
I'm coming there. I'm coming.
So that it will be good.
I'll honor you.
Let me wait, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Close our check.
Good morning and vanakkam and namaste, friends.
We are ready for your fiery speech.
Thank you. First of all, I congratulate the Tamil Nadu unit and the organizing committee of this wonderful national seminar for hosting this national seminar with so many young people. That is a really wonderful thing to do, and it is a message that the future is definitely bright. Friends, since 2009, some of right students from medical college are here. AIPF is working since 2009. And why? The founder president, Professor Sanjay Bishwas, who retired as a Dean of Faculty, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, he wanted to discuss few things in 2009 against the then trends of globalization. You remember 1991, the process of new globalization started and new economic policies started. And he was, in spite of being a mechanical engineer, try to understand, working in Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, he wanted to discuss the implications of the policies of liberalizations, privatization, and globalization. Somehow, he was not allowed to hold a seminar then on this issue. Then he contacted our friend Mr. Vijay Kumar, who was then the general manager of Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited. And they both thought that there should be some space to discuss issues and ideas that relate to the common people of this country, that impacting the common people of this country. There should be some space. So what should be done? Because as you know now, as you know today, it is impossible to discuss words like secularism, constitution, equality, liberty. You can discuss in Tamil Nadu, but try to discuss that in UP, Uttar Pradesh. Try to discuss that in Rajasthan. Try to discuss that maybe in Bihar. It will be difficult. That time also it was difficult. So they came together in 2009. The first seminar, they did not even call it a national seminar, they called it a seminar. And they called it Progressive Forum. And they invited some 15 people from different places, and they discussed one important subject. And what was that subject? Socialism in 21st century at NRR Center, Hyderabad, Neelam Rajshekhar Reddy Research Institute, Hyderabad. That seminar went for 3 days. Almost 20 papers were presented. 4 days, I'm sorry. And I'm happy to tell you that with meager funds, Mr. Vijay Kumar should be congratulated. He contacted some builders, some publishers. Mr. Sanjay Vishwas contacted some professors, intellectuals, pooled the money and held the seminar for 4 days. They took 2 decisions. Decision number 1, they will change the name from Progressive Forum to All India Progressive Forum, because in that meeting there were people from Andhra Pradesh, there were people from Tamil Nadu, there were people from Maharashtra, New Delhi. So they said it will be called as an All India Progressive Forum, number 1. Number 2, the second decision was also very important. There was no decision to form a committee or something. They said once in a year we'll meet somewhere in the country, in India, somewhere, and we'll discuss an important issue. And then again, next year again, at the same venue, NRR Center, we had gathered and discussed the shape of capitalism in India today. And next year the good news was the proceedings of the first seminar were published in the form of a book, and I'm very happy to tell you, they printed 1,000 copies, and all the 1,000 copies were sold in 1 month. They had to bring out a second edition. This was the job done by All India Progressive Forum. And then it was discussed and decided that now we'll form a committee, and All India Progressive Forum was formed. Professor Sanjay Vishwas became the first, rather founding president of AIPF, and of course since then our friend Mr. Anil Rajambale is now working as the General Secretary. And since then, I'm very happy to tell you friends, since then, 2009, up to today, minus 2 years of COVID, 2019 and 20, we did not have a physical seminar, but we had online seminar. So far, we have got 16 seminars, 4 books published by AIPF. No, not this way. Come on, big hand to all those authors, all those writers. And remember one thing, I'm also proud to say that when we tried to host a seminar in Uttar Pradesh, in Lucknow, we had one contact, I think Mr. Giri. We had a contact and he agreed to host a seminar. First the permission was granted, but later on when the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh read the word progressive, he said no permission. The permission was not granted. You will think that it is unfortunate. I think it is our power that make people afraid of our discussion. So it emphasizes that intellectual content of All India Progressive Forum is important. I would also wish to inform you, there are various forums, there are various seminars taking place in the country. But this is the only platform, only forum where people come from walks of life and discuss one subject for 4 days without any external support. This is the only platform and forum in the country today that we should be proud of that. And number two, some people ask us, what is All India Progressive Forum? Some people mistake it, it's a forum for intellectuals. No, it is not a forum for intellectuals. It is a forum for common man of India to do intellectual discussion. Anybody, everybody in India, man or woman, are welcome to air their views. We have multilingual seminars. We allow all languages to be spoken, but of course, the lingua franca of this seminar is English, because it is difficult to understand so many languages. What is our aim? First, to inculcate scientific temper in the society, not just in the academy. In the society, common man and woman in this country should be equipped with scientific temperament, which today's government is totally obstructing, totally nullifying with all the nonsense they talk about everywhere, except Gomutra and Gobar, they don't talk anything else. So we have to take that struggle to strengthen scientific temper in the society. Spread the habit of reading. Because when we come here, when you read the book that we have just released, 25 papers, research papers by different people, inculcate the habit of reading, create interest in research. Try to understand, friend, the government in power today at center, union government, that doesn't encourage research. They don't even motivate research. They said, have faith, have belief. We said, no, question everything. Because if you don't question, science does not move. And finally, create platforms at different levels. Just now, Dr. Ramath was telling you, we have number of seminars in Hyderabad, number of seminars, 1-day seminar, 3-hour seminar, 2-day seminar on various subjects. In fact, when Hyderabad we had a seminar on 2 days, health for all, simple. And Osmania Medical College had offered us all help there. So we had in Nagpur, we had a seminar in cooperation with National Environmental Engineering Research Institute, NEERI. We had a coordination with them. And so many places. In Bihar, we had wonderful seminar last year. So we are creating different platforms. Young students are there. I wish to tell you that it's your responsibility. It is your duty to take this torch of research and reading forward. Nobody can stop us from that. And why should we do this? You will say there are a number of organizations, there are a number of platforms. Why All India Progressive Forum? All India Progressive Forum is not a political organization, but it will always be ready to discuss political issues. Because we know politics govern this country. We are not shy of discussing politics, but we don't do politics. But we show the mirror to the politicians what we are doing, economic policies, environmental policies, labor policies, and now a discussion on artificial intelligence, which even the people sitting in power are not ready to discuss. We have the courage to discuss because we say knowledge belongs to all, like the world belongs to all. So why? See, it was a question asked by Galileo 600 years back that gave us the idea of the real shape of our world. At that time, the world was very small. It was solar system. But even then, Galileo had to face the brunt of the papacy, who did not want to believe that the earth rotates around the sun. They wanted to believe everybody that the sun rotates around the earth. But Galileo stood up because he questioned the model. Newton asked a question. Who governs the entire world, the earth, the sun? And Newton came to a conclusion, nobody governs. They have inherent internal structure and the idea of gravity came, because Newton questioned the established knowledge. And of course, the great scientist Charles Darwin, he questioned the theories given in so many religious books, how the human beings came. And we all know that now we are not special, we are part of the animal kingdom. And then of course the great Marx, who said that society's shape is not determined by any sky, it is determined by the people. So all of them question. Today we have to bring justice to women, we have to ask why women are not free. We have to bring justice to the poor, we have to ask why the poor do not have bread to eat. Today the poor cannot read, study, so we have to ask why the poor cannot study. And today, when science and technology is being tarnished in the name of religion, we have to question, when you all use science and technology, then why can't we have a discussion on science and technology? Simply because this country belongs to us, this world belongs to us, the life belongs to us, so we must discuss. Thank you very much.
Next, another book released by our own General Secretary. I request Bhavadharani to come here, Dr. Rajini to come here. So, name of the book I read, Materialism and Dialectics in Post-Classical World, Impact of Electromagnetism, will be released by Methu Rasukumar, and first copy will be received by Dr. Rajini and second copy by Bhavadharani. First copy நீங்க ரிலீஸ் பண்ணுவீங்க. சரி வாங்க. ரஜினி வாங்க.
You hand over to me.
Okay, knowledge is everywhere. Okay. You hold.
Congratulations, Dr. Anil Rajagopal.
So next, our President Ms. Bari, Sunil Kumar Singh, and second copy by Manisha. Manisha, come.
Sunil Kumar Singh.
All students, come. Manisha. No. Manisha, come.
இது முடிஞ்சோட போகலாம் முடிஞ்ச இருக்குதல்லவா இது எடுத்துருவோம் அதுக்கப்புறம் போவோம் இது ஒன்றும் ஆடியோ இல்லை நான் போகலாம் மாற்றி விடலாம்
So now, the keynote address by our General Secretary Anil Rajagopal.
போயிட்டு வந்துட்டார் எடுத்துட்டு வந்துட்டார் தமிழ் சார் அது ஒரு மணி பன்னெண்டு
Mr. Ravinath will honor our General Secretary. Photo எடுத்துருங்க. General Secretary for Bangladesh.
வயல் ஏதாவது மிஸ்டேக்னா
Where are you going?
கொஞ்சம் விஷுவல் உள்ள வர்றீங்க இங்கே தான் போடுவாங்க அப்படி வச்சுட்டு கொஞ்சம் டைப் பண்ணிங்க போயிடுங்க பிக்சர் கிளியராக இருக்கும் ரொம்ப லாங் வச்சுருந்தீங்கன்னா அப்புறம் ஒயிட் பண்ண முடியாது அதில் கேட்டு சத்தம்
Mr. Chairman, those present on the dais, Dr. Pradna, Dr. Ibrahim, Dr. Shanti, and all the prominent audience here. I am really very happy to deliver his keynote address this very August body. Today, in this seminar, which is titled National Seminar on Paradigm Shift in Technology, Impact on Service Sector. In this seminar, delegates or participants present are from Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Bihar, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, West Bengal, and New Delhi. Many more participants were to come, but due to various reasons, participants from UP, from Assam, from Chandigarh, from Haryana and Punjab could not come due to many pre-occupations and also some official problems. This is the time on the eve of Republic Day when so many programs and so many involvements in various parts of the country are taking place. Friends, this topic is very important and we will be discussing this for 3 full days through the presentation of more than 25 high-level papers which have been received from all over the country. It has been circulated to you and some more papers are still on the way. Before I proceed further, I want to just mention one very interesting and less known fact. When we have just offered our floral tributes to Dr. Sanjay Vishwas, soon after his death, a condolence resolution was written by one of the leading figures of this country. I will not name him. And in his condolence message, he wrote, after the death of Dr. Sanjay Vishwas, there is nobody to carry it forward. It will die its own death. So with that, with the death of Dr. Sanjay Vishwas, the death of AIPF was also announced in the same condolence message printed in a prominent newspaper of the country. His prediction was proved wrong. All India Progressive Forum has showed that since then it has not only survived, it has grown into a countrywide national organization of intellectuals, of presenting a platform for high-level intellectual discussions on various aspects. It has been told to you, I need not repeat. We have discussed through the years. Every year we hold a seminar, national seminar, on very important topic of futuristic nature, of dealing with technology, science, economics, finance, concerns of the people like employment and unemployment, education, health. National seminars have been held every year with huge participation every time with large number of papers. AIPF is the only organization in this country which has been doing this. It is not a university. It has no funds. It is a voluntary organization. Yet the papers presented and the discussions held at the forums of this seminar, these seminars are of very high level. Even the university of this country, colleges of this country have recognized that AIPF always presents a high level of discussion. We had a seminar, for example, in Goa a few years back in 2017 on finance capital with the help of the economics department college in Madgaon. They said that they expressed apprehension whether your participant will stay here for all these days, 4 days. We said that not a single participant will go away while they are in the course of the seminar, because Goa is a very attractive place, tourist place. So they did not expect this seminar, but some 150 participants stayed full 4 days, morning to evening, discussing every aspect of that seminar, and there were large number of papers which were thoroughly discussed. Only after that they dispersed. So this is the contribution of this organization. Now, this organization, why this organization? Some points have been raised and explained by Dr. Iqbal Rai. This, we want to discuss the issues concerning the people. We want to discuss the issues concerning the theory of how to solve and how to face the new and developing problems. We want to discuss the new trends. Our approach is dialectical. The new emerging, what are the new emerging trends? What is new technology? What is new finance? What is new imperialism? And what are the problems of socialism? We need not agree with this or that party on the question of socialism. We want to have a critical attitude towards socialism. We want to develop the concept of socialism in 21st century, a new concept or new concepts. That is why this forum. We want to create a theoretical base for new approaches to a society of justice, equality, and opportunity. And that is why it is an open forum. It is a forum where various ideas come and interact and clash and reach certain general direction. Another feature of our AIPF is the emphasis on science and technology. Way back two decades back, when we raised this question, the question of computerization, question of electronics, and its relationship with the means of production and means of information, its relation with capitalism and importance for socialism, many apprehensions were expressed. Many people did not agree, or very few people used to discuss. I remember in Hyderabad we had many seminars, and there many people were very skeptic about these questions. But about 1 or 2 decades later, every time we discuss a question, for example, we had a seminar in January, beginning of 2025, in February 2025 in Patna. Patna people are sitting here. There was no organization, no people, but a few enthusiastic people came together and they organized a rousing seminar on technology, employment and labor questions. All the discussions again and again came back to the question of artificial intelligence, even though there were no clear-cut terms and clear-cut papers on this question. So AI, artificial intelligence and technology has become part and parcel of our life, and that is why we have chosen this topic, paradigm shift technology. Friends, it is very important to identify these shifts. These shifts in technology are affecting health. A lot of doctors are sitting here and in the hall. These shifts, and we will be discussing in coming days, these paradigm shifts in technology are deeply affecting the nature of education and political and economic policy of education. These shifts are affecting the entire service sector. Service sector has become a very important, or what one can say the dominating sector of our society, and therefore it is necessary to discuss and put out our views. We want to discuss and disseminate our views. We want that the social scientists, political activists, and other activists, they take up these views and use it in their own political, economic, intellectual, and other activities. Ours is not a political organization, it is not an activist organization, and so on and so forth. But we want to devote our time and discussion to discovering the new trends which affects the masses and various sections of the people, so that the other organizations are enabled to better formulate their policies, and that is why the paradigm shift is, as we have identified, is taking place in all the fields of our society, in our country, in the world, and what are precisely those shifts in various sectors that we want to discuss in these 3 days. So friends, I hope that in coming 3 days, you all will be discussing thoroughly. Even those participants who have not presented or sent their papers, they will be actively taking part in the discussion, and I hope the organizers will try their best to give time to those participants, so that we really have a very fruitful discussion. We have been having very fruitful discussions on the topics that we have discussed. One very distinguishing feature of All India Progressive Forum is it has always emphasized the question of new and newer technology, scientific discoveries, and its impact on socio-economic, political, theoretical, and ideological trends. So with these words, I wish all the success, and I want all the participants to kindly concentrate on this topic and the papers and thoroughly discuss them and come out with certain new ideas at the end of the seminar. With these words, I welcome you all and thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, I request Dr. Aram to have a few words to state. Sooner. So Dr. Aram is a general medicine physician, and he is the president of Doctors Association for Social Equality and also the general secretary of Tamil Nadu AIPrF, which is a literary wing, and Patricism or here we say foreign medical graduate wing general secretary.
కొంచెం
Respected leaders in the dais, dear friends, good morning to all. Today we have an important discussion, national seminar on paradigm shift in technology, impact and service sector. This is an important one because nowadays service sector growth is enormous. It contributes to the GDP almost 60% in our country. You will take UK and US, it contribute 80%. To the contrary, how many employees in service sector? India 30% only. UK and US 80%. UK and US 80% contribution to GDP and 80% to the employment also. We are not that much providing. Scientific technology, AI and automation, cloud computing, and various newer technologies altered the labor market. Service sector, you will take health. Indian health market is 670 billion per year. It will be projected in 2 years. 2023 it is 370 billion. Now 670 billion. Education sector, it is projected 300 billion. Transport, almost 670 billion. Road transport, public transport, and gig and platform workers. It's a growing market. Almost 1 crore, I think, workers are in gig platform. It will project at 2.3 crores workers will be in future. So many literatures on gig workers. We are changing the search. Tomato, red color. Sleep, black color. So it will change the labor rights. It will also discussed. Our Balchandran, he wrote a good book on AI and Marxist approach on AI. So this technology advancement and impact of this technology advancement in the labor market and what are the things. Recently we got a all India strike in gig workers. First January. Nearly 10 days, I think. They got some achievement. Now the labor rules are compiled to the 4 laws. That's going on. Organized labor laws. But the unorganized labor is huge. The service sector contributes in the economy. So we will discuss all these aspects in education, health, and transport, and all the things. Till remote workers, female girl will get more work and attached with family also. There is somewhat little benefit. And at the same time, white collar jobs are replaced by AI. And at the same time, unskilled laborers are removed from the labor market. So these are the things happen. We will discuss. I think the 3 days discussion will deal all these aspects. On behalf of Tamil Nadu Cleric and Doctors Association for Social Equality, I wish this seminar will be a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gautam. Yes, I request Gautam Manga. So, our medical student Gautam,
கீழே வரட்டுமா கீழே
in
வரட்டும்
honor our president, Mr. Vijay Kumar.
கௌதம் இப்படி வந்துருங்க
No, he is speaking. No, he will sit here, comrade. He said that. Okay. And now our presidential address by Mr. Vijay Kumar.
Media delegates, this is the 16th All India workshop being held by All India Progressive Forum. And All India Progressive Forum has a long tradition behind us. Let me tell you, in Indian history, right from the beginning of Indian civilization, the battle of ideas between obscurantism and scientific thought, rational thought, has been going on. Uttara Karni in 8th century BC, he negated idealism and Radharani Upanishad has recorded a discussion between Uttara Karni and Yajnavalkya. There Yajnavalkya asks what happens to the body, to the soul, when a person dies. Uttarakarni said that the soul is a product of the body and it will die along with the body. He rejected the Vedas, he rejected the idea of God. And this tradition of rationalism and materialism is going on in India since 3000 years or more. And we are inheritors of this great tradition. All India Progressive Forum in its policy has mentioned that we conduct a battle of ideas in the minds of the people. That is our slogan. We conduct a battle of ideas. So our job is that we don't go for political agitations. We discuss political issues, but we don't go for political agitations. And we stand firmly for scientific and rational thought. As an organization, All India Progressive Forum had its very humble beginnings in 1983, 42 years back, 43 years back. Sanjay Vishwas and a few of us, we used to gather in Bangalore or Hyderabad and discuss science for society, how to build up as an organization for science for society. This effort of 40 years has finally resulted in, as Railu has told, in 2009, we were able to form an organization in 2007, in fact. The first meeting has taken place and we have called ourselves the AIPF Progressive Forum. Since then, this organization has grown, come from Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, combined Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Delhi, Haryana. Like this, state by state, we have grown. We have now have a presence in about 20 states. And we definitely have a great future. I can say a lot of young people who are participating here in this group. And I am very sure that they will take the mantle and they will continue to build this organization. It is required absolutely where obscurantism is taking over. We have to resist that and we have to continue our battle of ideas. For this, AIPF will devote all its energies, and I welcome all of you for having attended this historic workshop on artificial intelligence and its paradigm that we get to be together. And let us discuss all aspects of that, positive, negative aspects of artificial intelligence. There are 25 papers, and maybe we will learn more. And we have to discuss these papers this coming 3 days. I welcome all of you, and I
Thank you, comrade. Next, a vote of thanks by our Mr. G. Murali. And we have to thank you immensely for whatever you have in your hand is there, because the stationery to book, it is from there only. I request Salem medical student Gokul Raj to honor G. Murali, and he Mr. Murali is the head employee of the bank. India Bank Employees Association. He looks young, I don't want to tell his age. And he is retired. That's all. Retired from job. Not from the work, and he is more active than us.
Today's president of the meeting, Mr. Vijay and General Secretary of the AIPF All India, dear Viral Raidu and Anil Rajimale, Tamil Nadu Secretary Dr. Ravindra and General Secretary of our Tamil Nadu Kalai Dr. Aram. Earlier, Mr. Santanam has spoken, Managing Director of nsISISD. He has come over here and gave his thought about how to bring this booklet and separate it throughout Tamil Nadu, as well as throughout India, both in English and Tamil. For that, we have to thank him. And I really thank Dr. Ravindra for having given me this opportunity to stand before you to propose the vote of thanks. For that, it's an opportunity. I know how pain he has taken right from November 22nd, the preparatory meeting we had in our Tamil Nadu Bank President office to organize this seminar. And the last 10 days, he was working vigorously to bring this seminar a grand success, because today it's an order of the AI. Naturally, it has to reach to the masses. And for that, how the AIPF will view this seminar through them, it may be in a small number of gathering here, but we know the potential of each and everyone to have the capacity to organize at least 10 to 20 people through them. And slowly we have to percolate the challenges before us and how to meet this challenge of AI. Naturally, the medical field is really one of the field where a lot of changes are taking place, and Dr. Ravindra has rightly taken this seminar to throughout this part of country. I welcome and also thank for having given this opportunity, and we have to focus this conference, this seminar in a grand manner, and each and every one of you have to participate in all the documents presented before you. And I thank once again. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
The repeatedly wait for 10 to 15 minutes, and the leaders will be giving a small bio press. After that, you can.
Anil Rajanwala, our beloved General Secretary of All India Progressive Forum, who is going to present the base paper on the paradigm shifting technology and the impact on the service sector. Thank you, Anilji, that you have prepared, you studied a lot, you have done a lot of research on the service sector and the impact on the technology. And I'm very proud and I'm very privileged.
Excuse me, comrade. Get settled without making much noise. I request the delegates to switch off the cell phone or vibrant mode. If anything important, without disturbing the hall, without discussing the session, they can go out and talk, but avoid that. Thank you.
I'm very privileged to be as a chairperson here for the starting of the discussion as well as the presentation of the papers of this seminar. As you know, we have conducted earlier so many seminars, more than 12, 13, I think every year we are conducting. One in north and one in south, like that similarly we are changing. For example, last time we had a seminar in Patna, now here.
before that in Chandigarh and in Goa, something like that. All throughout India we are conducting these seminars. And today, this is very oft seminar we are doing this workshop, that is the service sector. As earlier our guests have mentioned that today the complete world is ruled by the service sector, not the productive sector or manufacturing sector. In olden days, maybe some 50 years back, the manufacturing sector, the working class sector, or the farmer sector, or the land labor sector were the main important role playing in the productive forces, and its implications also on the economy. So now the economy changed. One person products in 100 persons of a society. Maybe 20 people produce and 80 people, 60 to 80 people, maybe 20 to 30 people will produce the production and 60 to 80 people live on that along with the productive forces. But whereas ultimately the implication on the economical society is that nowadays the people who are producing the commodity, they are getting less benefited. They are getting less benefited. When you see, recently this Oxfam survey has come. The Oxfam survey shows the money earners are not the productive forces or the productive sector people. The money earners are, may I request you please to, hello, sir, may I request you to be calm. Thank you. The people who are not directly involved in the production, they are having a better life. At the same time, we are seeing that every year the GDP is growing in all countries, maybe exception the last 2 years. The GDP in and all average some 2 to 3% growing in the complete world globally. But whereas this growing GDP is not coming into the hands of the productive people, this GDP is going the cream layer of the service sector. That's what is happening in India. So that means ultimately what is happening, only the income of the production going only few people's hand, and the productive forces, the people for whom we all wanted, the farmer sector, the farm labor sector, the working class sector, are facing lot of issues, and their average wages, as we know officially as International Labour Act, their average wages are not increasing in ratio with the GDP growth. So that means now in a society, there is a society now, whereas the people who are producing their what we call it buying capacity, purchasing power is reducing year by year. Ultimately, there will be a lot of crisis in the society that we are facing. In the countries like US, European Union countries, everywhere we are facing this. So that means there is we as a progressive form people, we always encourage the visionary technology. We are always with the latest technology. We are not against the latest technology and visionary technology and latest development in the science. We encourage that. But it should not cost the average people. The technology should be converted for the environment, good environment. The technology should be given its benefits to the people, average people. So whether this is happening or not, that we can discuss this coming 3 days. It is really good opportunities. It is excellent topic the organizers have chosen. We have to appreciate that. Like earlier, we have discussed it on so many workshops like unemployment. We have given proper solution in unemployment. Why unemployment? Always, every year the GDP is going, every year the production is going, every year the standards are going, science is growing, but every year the unemployment is increasing. Why? What is the reason? Number one. Number two, electoral system, we had a seminar. In the electoral system, we have demanded and we have suggested to the central government and all the governments and the people that there should be pro rata base, the parliament seats are tamasha election result oriented. In parliaments or in assemblies, that is not happening. For example, in a constituency, 10 people will contest, everybody will get 7 votes, the last person will get 9 votes, he will be declared as elected against the 91 votes of the people. 9% who has got, he got elected and he will rule the country. We are seeing that in so many state elections that the party which has got 20%, 22% having no single seat. Or for example, latest Bihar elections, it shows that. So we are not, let us not go into deep into the politics. And I extremely congratulate the organizers for selecting the service sector job. I think it will give us a fresh thoughts, fresh thinking, how to go further, how to understand further this service sector, particularly the use of the artificial intelligence. I am sure artificial intelligence is very much good to have better productivity. At the same time, it makes us very blank. I believe also that 1 or 2 paras of this paper submitted maybe taken the help of the artificial intelligence also without knowing what is happening inside the para. So that means it is like that. Nowadays in the universities, college, it is going like that. When we are giving the project work to a student, he is submitting within 10 minutes or he is submitting within 1 hour his project. So without knowing what is happening inside. So the producers are the benefiters, are the politicians, are the cream layer of the society. They want to take us into artificial society without getting the fruits of the artificial intelligence to the proper people and without enriching our knowledge. So you can go on taking. I'm also very proud to be a part of the All India Progressive Forum. Before I entered in the Progressive Forum in Vijayawada, my friends and all, I can remember we used to understand the society in an average level. Now we are taking different topics, though directly these are not related to the politics, but we will discuss the politics matter, economics matter, cultural matters. So likewise we are conducting the seminars in Vijayawada, like that in Vijayawada, in Guntur, in Vishakhapatnam, in Kurnool, in Andhra Pradesh, we are conducting always good seminars and good speakers. We are inviting from JNU University throughout India. We are inviting the speakers. And we have got such a respect in Vijayawada city and Guntur city, Vishakhapatnam and other places of Andhra Pradesh, that this Progressive Forum, whenever they are conducting seminars, they are doing something good for the cause of, they are visionaries, they have good thoughts. So when we are organizing one seminar in Vijayawada, minimum 150 to 200 people, the intellectuals and also thought provokers, like Gurvaji said, it is not only for the intellectuals, for the people. So ultimately the Progressive Forum thinks of the people. So in this way, thank you very much Anilji. We have very much love and affection to you because you work really hard on this topic, and I hope your presentation of this base paper gives us a thought provoking for the coming 3 days and later in our working day-to-day life. Thank you very much, and I request you to start and to present the paper.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, all of you. When we were discussing as to the topic of the seminar, what should be the topic of the seminar, there was a long discussion in the NEC and on the AIPF site, AIPF connection. Then ultimately we came to decide on this topic, paradigm in technology, impact on service sector. Now this is a very vast subject, but very relevant and very futuristic. we are prepared for, unless we analyze the and unless we are prepared for future, we cannot determine our task, our next step in all the fields of our activity. Paradigm shift in technology impact on service sector has three parts. One is paradigm. Second is paradigm shift in technology. And technology has no meaning unless we study its impact on society. So today we are studying, trying to understand its impact on service sector. When we talk about service sector, it includes all the possible activities except perhaps production. The service sector includes, and the paper deals with that, health, education, finance, distribution, etc., and market. Without market, we cannot imagine our society. Without market, we cannot talk about distribution of what is produced in manufacturing and productive sector. Without market, the consumer cannot establish relation with what is produced. Today, service sector has become almost identified with market, and it is undergoing a huge transformation of nature and structure, affecting our lives, our policies, our nature as human beings. Human being is fashioned by economic activities. As science of economics tells us. And in the root of this market, this service sector, is the technology, particularly the tools. There is a very small, very important book, a fundamental book by a famous historian, a historian of the tools. His name is Gordon Childe. It is a small book by Gordon Childe, and I think we should all read that book. The history of tools. And very beautifully he has dealt with the stages of the development of tools and the consequent changes in the nature of human being and in society. That history shows that the tools have developed in a linear fashion. Human beings has been developing tools, improving tools, diversifying the tools in in order to improve and lighten one's work, making it more productive. That is the natural human tendency, irrespective of any socio-economic formation. In the socio-economic formation, the tool is controlled by this or that group, this or that class. Yet the tool keeps on developing on its own. Some people call it technological determinism and also criticize technological determinism. But the fact is that the tool has its own dialectics, has its own logic of development, independent of socio-economic formation. What socio-economic formation does is to introduce the aspect of how to use the tools and whose interest, whether in the interest of the individual belonging to this or that group, or in the interest of the state and the society and so on and so forth. When tool is used by society, it becomes a socio-economic and political issue, which is fought out on the planes of superstructure. Engels did a great service, the great famous Frederick Engels, who completed the other half of Charles Darwin's discovery. Darwin explained how humans developed out of the apes through biological changes under the impact of natural transformations or changes. But Frederick Engels completed the other half of this dialectics by pointing out that by making tools, humans became humans. It is the tool which fashions and develops and evolves the human being. And therefore, both according to Gordon Childe and Frederick Engels, the history of the human being is the history of the evolution of the tool. Today, we are going through, and we have gone through, two major paradigm shifts. When we say today, it begins with Industrial Revolution. Industrial Revolution transformed the tool making and provided us with tools driven by steam, power, oil, electricity and other forms of energy. These tools created a new human being, the machine building human being, the industrial human being. Industrial age was started and there was a complete transformation of the society as a result of the industrial age and industrial revolution. Use the term, everybody uses the term, nobody objects the use of term revolution for industrial revolution. it gave us tools not only for production, not only for creating factories and mines and mills and railways. More importantly, it produced the age of Renaissance, age of enlightenment. In other words, these tools were tools of knowledge. Tools of knowledge is very important. Tools provide us new worldview. The tools help us penetrate the matter in various forms, and science is the product of these tools, because with the help of science, of scientific discoveries, we penetrate the realities of the nature. Therefore, nature and human being develop in constant unity and constant conflict, constant dialectics, and that is how our consciousness is formed, consciousness is developed. Friends, in the last 100 years, we have gone through a fundamental change, a fundamental approach towards nature, towards society, and more particularly towards philosophy. Science has taken a decisive turn, and since science has taken a decisive turn, technology also has taken a decisive turn. What is science and what is technology? Science is the discovery of laws of nature. Science is the discovery of the laws of motion of nature. In the field of, say, astronomy, physics, chemistry, biology, and so on and so forth, we need not go into too many details. We don't have that much time. So science is theory. Theory is often underestimated. As of secondary importance, theory is ignored as unnecessary and useless. Quite often, the scientists, particularly the social scientists and the activists, they emphasize practice. Go to the society, go to the field, go to the masses. I disagree with this approach. I say, first, go to the theory. Let us understand theory. Let us go deeper into nature, society, and consciousness. That is what Industrial Revolution did. It strengthened our theory. That is how and why Frederick Engels and Lenin could write dialectics of nature and inferior criticism, and many other scientists who were not exactly Marxists, but who were, even being non-Marxists, they contributed decisively. Among them, most prominent were Max Planck and Albert Einstein. Max Planck discovered the quantum, and Einstein discovered special theory of relativity and then general theory of relativity. Science never remains as theory. It must convert itself into technology. Technology is the implementation of science. STEAM is theory. Application of STEAM, science, is steam engine. It changes the entire system. Quantum was discovered in the year 1900. It is still today incomprehensible to most of the people, of the scientists. But we are on the verge of discovering and using quantum computers. We are about to enter that age when everything will change. Einstein, through his special and general relativity, showed that time and space are not absolute, they are relative. Time is relative and space is relative. Even gravitation can be reduced to or transformed into granules, that is particles and waves of gravitation. And therefore, today we are standing on the verge of a revolution where space and time will become new forms of, new means of technology, new means of production, and new means of information. Jeremy Rifkin has said, and Mark Poster has said, that we are transiting from mode of production to mode of information. Mode of production is becoming part of the mode of information. So what is the paradigm shift today? The paradigm shift today is, it is planetary. In one place in the base paper, the word planetary paradigm shift has been used. The base paper has been circulated in the collection. You may be having it like this. It contains the base paper, and you may, when you have got time, you may go through it. Time to time I will refer to that. So this paradigm shift is taking shape, happening, and happening very fast. What happened earlier in 100 years is happening in 10 years. What do we mean by paradigm shift? What is the meaning of the word paradigm shift? When we use the word paradigm, it involves the 3 or 4 dimensions of space and the time factor. The technology that we are using today is something different, something new, and we have to take this. The paradigm gives us new aspects, new features, new structures, higher motions. And that is why we say it is a paradigm and shift in paradigm. This word must be understood clearly. There is a shift in paradigm. There is a change in the paradigm that we use. There is a change in the paradigm of the tool that we use. Hammer, steam power, steam engine. It has its own paradigms. If you increase the speed of the tool, it changes its paradigm. The same tool used in the space has different paradigms. The space astronauts that go to the space station use the same tool in a different way because of loss of gravitation. And therefore there is a change in paradigms of the tool. There is a paradigm shift. And what is that shift and why that shift? In the seminars of our AIPF, we have been discussing for many years the nature of technology. And lot of changes have taken place. Today, we are discussion is free from the discussion on artificial intelligence. A new technology has come, which is absolutely different. Human beings began their journey by discovering the stone tools. There was a stone age. Today, the industrial age has begun with steam age. And at present, at the end of 20th century and 21st century, we are going through artificial intelligence or machine intelligence. This is an absolutely different paradigm. What is the different paradigm? What is new in it? The new in it is, during industrial age, we handed over our physical capabilities to the machine. During industrial age, we handed over our physical capacities to the machine. At present, during the electronic revolution, during the information revolution, a revolution which is come by its production of information, we are handing over our mental faculties to the machine. And we want to hand over more and more mental faculties to the machine. We are handing over the logical functions to the machines. This is a qualitatively new development, and that is determining our development. A new history has begun. A history in which human being is creating a machine which must function logically, which must use the forces residing within the atom and help us. Why these machines are able to help us, and why we are handing over our functions? Because these machines are more efficient in terms of time. They can calculate, they can give answers within seconds, within minutes. It took 100 years or a decade or several years to find answers to certain questions earlier. But today we can hand over those questions to be solved to the machine, because it can bring out answers, it can process the data. Data is the new raw material. Data is the base of the society. A great scientist, Soviet scientist, Vernadsky, used the word noosphere, N-O-O sphere, noosphere, layers of consciousness. We are all the time producing layers of consciousness. Every hour, millions and millions of emails, WhatsApp, various kinds of apps, streaming, and so on are taking place. Every hour, every minute, the earth is being surrounded by a new kind of consciousness, new kind of data. There is a big controversy among the scientists about this data and that consciousness in form of data. Today many people are saying that machine cannot have consciousness. Yes, it cannot have consciousness, but there is a possibility that machine will have consciousness, because we are handing over. There is consciousness-like, idea-like property being developed in the machines, in the AI. We have to be prepared for that. We are already using that. Our respected chairman, when he was speaking here, he mentioned about the AI and the use of AI. I assure him and all of you that no AI has been used in preparing of this DASE paper, it has been completely man-made for last several months. Because when we use AI, there are a lot of disturbances and distractions. Oh, no, I am doing that because there is a danger of falling here. Hello. Okay. Is it all right? You are able to hear?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So let us go ahead. We don't have much time and yes. So this is a consciousness-driven society. This is an information-driven tool. Information is the primary driving force. And therefore, this is a different kind of society from what existed till yesterday. In the year 1973, a great sociologist, Daniel Bell, announced that the society is shifting from industrial to post-industrial society. The industrial order of things are going. Production-based society is disappearing or going into the background, and it is being replaced by information-driven society, by a society in which service dominates. Our topic is service sector. What Daniel Bell and Rodovan Rishta announced in 1973 is coming true today. We are living already in the service-driven society. For production of information, production of image is the primary thing. Production of image in health sector is primary. Production of image in education sector is primary activity. Even in production, first we produce image and then we produce the tangible object. It is a conflict between tangible and intangible. Tangible is that which we can touch and see. Intangible is that which we cannot touch and cannot see. It is the intangible which is coming to the fore, and it is with the help of intangible that the tangible is being driven. And it has its own impact on the structure of society, on the structure of the subject, on the structure of the individual, on the subject of our thought, on the subject himself, herself. Subject means, जिसको संस्कृत में हिंदी में कर्ता बोलते हैं, subject. I am the subject. How I am fashioned? By the tool, by society, by development. So much so that within our brain, there are areas affected by the use of, not among the apes. If I make the tool, the left part of the brain is affected. If I use the tool, certain parts of the brain are affected. Now the question arises, in the information revolution, which part of the brain is affected and how brain is related with the tool, because our tool is intelligent. It has its own impact on the subjectivity, on the subject. According to Mark Poster, today's subject, the subject in information society, the subject in electronically communicated system is different. Today's subject is temporary, constituted, deconstituted, deconstructed. Today's subject is carried from one place to another through image. So there is a subject in the tangible world, there is a subject in intangible. There is a conflict between the tangible and intangible world, tangible and intangible subject, individual. This subject has its own relation with the state, with the class, with politics, with economics, with market. Market has its own tangibility and intangibility. Even a microsecond, even several parts of a microsecond can change the share market. And therefore in the share markets, the latest technologies are used to gain advantage over other companies or other investors. MNCs use it. Small scale industries use it. And therefore, the microsecond has become a new information technology, a new factor. Time is very important. And therefore, seconds, microseconds, and billions of seconds, like quantum seconds, have become productive force. Lenin said long ago, two things he said. One, the science of moderate speeds, and then science of high speeds. Science of high speed is different than science of moderate speed. When science of high speed becomes productive force, the social structure changes and the structure of the human being changes. What today is that the science is becoming a productive force. So, in this seminar, we are going to discuss these points as to how to implement and how to use scientific discoveries and these technologies in the interest of the people, in the field of health, in the field of education, in the field of market, finance, and so on and so forth. In the base paper, certain points have been presented as the basis for discussion. The base paper is not a final opinion. It is just a basis for criticism, self-criticism, and development. Till a few years ago, many people refused to accept AI as an important tool. Today, 10 years later, particularly in the first 2 decades of the 21st century, AI, in the last 5 years, the AI has become a dominant tool being used by every child. And therefore, the future of the society lies in the use of AI for social change. One example I will give, and the base paper discusses, beginning with para 64, the role of mobile. 20 years ago, mobile was a rarity. Today, mobile has become such a part of our body that it is difficult to tell where the human body ends and where the electronic gadget begins. The two are becoming one. Mobile is a camera, mobile is a typewriter, mobile is a connecting device with the entire world. Mobile helps us to relate with market, with production, with business and so on and so forth. All kinds of apps are there. How do we characterize this change? This is a big social change, socio-economic, political, philosophical change. Our worldview, the way we look at the world, the way we look at the planet, the way we look at the universe is totally changes, and therefore it is necessary for us to decide in a new manner our worldview, where the relationship between matter and idea is becoming redefined. The relationship between matter and idea is becoming a new tool, a new means of production, a new means of information. For example, brain-computer interface is the new device, where electrodes and chips can be put on inside our brain. We can just look at the screen, think about, write, and as soon as we think, the letters appear. How do we define this change? It is definitely a merger of tangible world and the wave-particle duality discovered by Max Planck and Heisenberg. It has become productive force. That is the meaning of productive force. That is the meaning of science becoming productive force. In medical science, and we will be discussing in the papers in coming days, in education, we can see it. The artificial intelligence and robots being used on a very wide scale. And there is a fresh struggle. There is a fresh dialectics. There is a fresh conflict between the mass of the people and the multinational corporations and corporate houses who use it in their own way. But the nature of tool is such, the scale of tool is such that it is becoming smaller. And smaller tools can be used by the masses, by the people. And its example is mobile that the base paper has discussed. Mobile is part and parcel of our life. It is a people's tool, and it can be used for social change, for raising slogans, for mobilizing people, for opposing dominant powers of the world, like the United States imperialism in Gaza, in Venezuela, and so on and so forth. So it should not be underestimated. Information revolution should not be underestimated. And the tools produced by information revolution should not be underestimated. And therefore, the base paper wants to emphasize the fact that the new technology must not be ignored. The new technology must be used by the democratic forces. China in the year 2023 has put out in the market 237,000 robots, and it is putting more, 5 times more than the United States. It has its own contradictions. It guzzles energy. Water, for example. It is used on a big scale by the multinational corporations and corporate houses, finance monopolies who are concentrating wealth and profit. This is giving rise to new kinds of conflicts. Whether there is value, whether there is surplus value, whether the commodity contains small and smaller amounts of value, and if this is happening, what kind of socio-economic structures are coming into being. And therefore, it is the battle for market. It is the battle for market in health sector. It is the battle for market in education. It is the battle for market for small scale industries. It is a battle for market between vast democratic forces and a handful of corporate financial monopolies headed by the United States. And therefore, our strategic paradigms must be clearly defined so that we can use these technologies for bringing about basic changes in favor of people. And therefore, 21st century gives us new potential. In my opinion, in the opinion of the base paper, this information revolution is a new weapon in the hands of the new type of workers, new type of farmers, intellectuals, and the difference between workers, farmers and intellectuals is disappearing. Their labor is becoming similar. So the laboring masses working through mental labor, masses handing over their mental labor to the machine. And these masses are being sought to be exploited in the old way, in the industrial way, by the corporates, as is happening in the case of gig workers. We must bring in the small scale and smaller scales of production because the tools are becoming smaller, and bring these people together, make them aware, and create an endeavor for a basic socio-economic changes. So lastly, the base paper said we constantly need to develop democratic and humanistic alternatives based upon new technologies led by the AI. Thank you very much. Any questions, please?
Thank you, Anilji. Excellent base paper introduction Anilji has given. The importance of the tool and its evolution process, and how the tool has developed from stone time to present AI. Really very excellently explained that. And we have to be adjusted democratically with the development of the tool. Thank you, Anil Rajmalaji. And you may have questions and discussions for 15 minutes. And of course, in the coming 3 days, Anilji will be there. And whenever necessary is there, he will interfere and give clarifications. Now, any questions? Any questions, please? No speeches, questions, please. Anilji will explain. That will be only for 15 minutes. Later, few minutes. And later we go for self-introduction, credential forms. It may take 20 minutes more. And then we go for lunch. Yeah, that is our plan. Please. Please take question form, please. Yeah.
Daniel, from his statement about society shifting from industrial to post-industrial society, service sector. But India, I think now we are stepping into, we go for make in India, then we go for make for the world, and and then going around Delhi, you find all fumes and fumes coming out, and people cannot live there. And that environmental destruction that's happening on one side, of course, that other one is also happening. So, sir, can you there's a compromise to be or comprehend? Can you comprehend these two together? What we are doing in India and how it's affecting us, and also the service sector also.
India is not free from this information and service sector revolution. What the government and the powers that be and the vested interests are trying is to cover up this transformation. Is to cover up this transformation in the interest of the corporate sectors. This transformation can be used on a mass scale in the interest of the people. The problem is, the prediction is that the more we introduce and understand the nature of this revolution, the more we can oppose the corporatization and concentration of wealth and capital. If we do not understand, if the democratic, humanistic forces, in the progressive forces do not understand and master this new technology, you cannot hope for socio-economic transformation. And therefore, we are living in an age where there is a big new revolution is taking place. New technological revolution on a much higher and wider scale than the industrial revolution. The democratic forces must first, in my opinion, master the theory and practice of this new technology. That is how we will solve it.
Two questions, sir.
Yes.
In future, what will happen to human labor? What will happen to surplus value? Is there any chance of social change to social transformation?
Both the human labor and surplus value are on the way out. They are disappearing. And every commodity, piece of commodity, contains far lesser and lesser amount of value and also exchange value. When it contains less value, the exchange value is also lesser and lesser. Now the question arises, how the prices are being determined in the market. Market is dominated by finance, monopoly capitalism, and therefore the prices are being determined in the old way, and that this is a new way to exploit the labor. The example is the gig worker, and therefore the old way has to be abolished and new way of determining prices in the interest of the people have to be developed. For that, new political economy has to be evolved. Yes.
Thank you, sir, for a beautiful presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, my question is, how you define this democratic process? I think it is very ambiguous. How you are saying that this democratic process, and of course, you should explain a little bit that what is the democratic process and what is your take on the appropriation of these opportunities or potential of these technologies? Because appropriation is going to be taken by the hegemonic forces. So how we are going to understand this appropriation of these potential technology, whether it is AI or otherwise? Thank you.
I want to ask one. No, one student is asking. On pending. Okay, after you answer this.
It's better, otherwise I forget.
Okay, okay.
So now the democratic forces are rapidly emerging. Democratic forces, for example, the child using the AI is a democratic force. Myself and yourself using the mobile is a democratic force. So the more we use the new technology on vaster and wider scale is a potential democratic force. And the more content about the new world we put, about the distribution we put, democratic distribution, that is a democratic force. Because productivity is increasing very rapidly. So production is not a problem anymore, either in India or the world. Increasingly the question, problem is there, problems in of production are very much there, comparatively less. The new problem is how to distribute what is produced. Today in 21st century, what is produced in 10 years equals 100 years of 20th century, or even 1 year in certain sectors. So how to distribute, that is the democratic program. That should be the democratic program. That should be the new manifesto. The working class is not confined to the factories and mills. The working class has spread to the universities, to the shops, to the new offices, and such other establishments. And therefore working class in the new sense is everywhere. It is networked working class. 87% of Latin America's population lives in the network cities, and that is why we see a strong, powerful democratic movement in Latin America. In the United States, there is a crisis of new imperialism, and that is why they are resorting to Greenland and Venezuela. Because they are not even able to use the new productive forces. Therefore, they are resorting to old methods of imperialism. And therefore, we need to analyze the new features of it. So that is how the democratic alliances or forces have spread like anything. But the problem is that we must analyze precisely the features of new imperialism, new colonialism, and new methods of exploitation. Yes.
Tell your name.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Jerome, first year from Tanjore Medical College. I have a doubt on the very definition of artificial intelligence. Now, sir, you have told in the session that humans differ from apes because humans can make and use. So, until now, artificial intelligence can use stuff that humans are providing, the data that humans are providing. But I can't understand how it can make something original. So even the mobile phones that we are using till now, even that is able to use only the data. Even that is not making something original. And even the artificial intelligence that we are talking now can't make something original. It is able to only implement the data that humans are giving. So how are we even calling it artificial intelligence, the term intelligence, when it cannot make something original and it is able to only process what humans are giving it? That is all that I have, sir.
When we use the word intelligence for the machines, it is in a certain sense, in a relative sense. So relativity is very important everywhere. Einstein gave the theory of relativity. Like speed is relativity, intelligence is also relativity. Now earlier we used to burn fire. Now what we do, we press the button and the light burns. Certain part of our intelligence we have handed over. That intelligence is not its original thought. Yet certain process of our brain has been handed over. When we press computer, certain things appear. Or when we ask chat GPT or AI, we say, prepare an artwork where nature is there, sun is rising or forest is there. It immediately within seconds, it produces a painting or painting-like thing. So it is intelligence-like activity imparted into the machine by ourselves. This is increasing. Now what is increasing? What is new? The new is algorithm. Mathematical, statistical systems of bringing about combinations, finding combinations most appropriate. The word is most appropriate. There may be hundreds and thousands of alternatives. It is the machine side. If as human being wanted to decide, it would take tens of years or hundreds of years, but the machine decides it within minutes or seconds. So it has time advantage. The time dimension is more. The society, the technology, the science is developing it faster and faster along time dimension. That is the advantage of the machine, and that is why now today we are not simply handing over simple functions. We are handing over complicated algorithmic problems to the machine. It has intelligence-like features. Now there is a danger, many sociologists, many scientists are discussing that there is a danger and possibility, as you look at it, that the artificial or machine intelligence may develop its own autonomy. For some scientists, some for it is dangerous. According to some other opinions, and there are wide opinions, that it is good that machine may develop its own autonomy, its own combinations of languages, for example, its own acceptance or refusal of human problems. So a new direction of development.
I really appreciate that question. It was one of the very good questions to be asked. Why? Because the word he has used is there artificial intelligence? So my question will be that on the basic question that whatever is coming in the name of artificial intelligence is because of the inputs done by the human beings over a period of time. So as you have rightly said that mathematical algorithmic best possible solution. So what he has asked is it correct to call it artificial intelligence or should we call it as machine intelligence?
Machine intelligence is likely to develop into artificial intelligence. Suppose it begins fashioning neural cells or the functions of neural cells. You know, in our brain there are neural cells which process electrical, biological, physical, quantum processes. Now science has entered quantum phase, and we are coming to know of many of the quantum processes. So in future, with the help of the machines, we may be developing intelligence at the neural stage, at the brain stage. I think, and therefore on the machine things appear. What is the difference between machine and myself? Machine becomes part of myself. I become part of the machine. I enter the virtual world. What is that word? It is virtual, yet it is very much related with the so-called real world or non-real world. In future, this development we must be prepared for, and therefore machine intelligence is very likely to develop into artificial intelligence as an autonomic system and as parallel to human development. I think so.
I want to ask a question. What I thought, what the general question is not only the first word, it is the second word also. It is not, he is telling us, because it's not only whether it's artificial or machine. His question is about the other aspect also, whether we can call it as intelligence.
Dr. Rajni.
Yes.
I told her she will ask after you. You ask a question.
You ask him.
I give to Dr. Rajni as a question.
No, I don't know. That the discussion is with the chairperson.
I have the answer at home, don't worry.
Mr. C, may I ask Rajni to ask first?
I just ask the it's up to him, he will answer me at home or in the room or something. I'm just asking him. This question, carry on.
new socio-economic system that depends on the infrastructure of the society. Now, whatever production process has come to us, in that production process, nanotechnology has also come. And the other thing is that there is hardly any concentration of production. It is spreading. It is going to every big and small organizations and units first. Second thing is that surplus labor and surplus production is over. That phase is over. If surplus is, last night I was talking to Comrade Vijay Kumar, and this question I have asked several times, but still I have to get the answer. That surplus is over. It's no more in the question. Now, if the surplus is over, in that sense, the production itself is again changes its character, and we don't have value, we don't have market, we don't have the fixing apparatus for the price and other things to decide about. So the entire capitalist system is falling down. Now it is falling down, so we have to see how there is no question of concentration of capital. There is no question of that. Only question remains that he raised just now is on distribution. Who will be in charge of distribution? Who will be in charge of the democratic system itself? Thank you very much.
See, you are, this is answer related to that only. Can I ask? Yes. See, when you said tools are productive forces, and then also you said when the theory and the practice. I'll give you 2-3 examples. I spoke to the people who are with these tools, and what they say is it's not only in India, Canada, America, but all you say international. I spoke to those people. What they say, tools they are introducing very cheaply, but when they are laying off the people, they're removing and introducing the tools are not working according to them properly. The productivity has become very less, and the tools are, as she said, the tools are really not using properly there, and the productivity is also is coming down, and the countries are also thinking about this nowadays. So we cannot say that the tools will be the productive forces, and that is not the one thing. And one more thing, as we asked, and we are seeing it. Robotics, yes, in medical field also robotics they are bringing, but they are giving the feeding, the doctors are giving, the scientists are giving the feeding, but as you said, machine will make everything, yes, it will give in time, maybe timely it may give, but there are also others are coming, because why? Even AI is not developed that much. That's what I want.
Thank you. This was the last question for this session. Please, excuse me, because it is already 1:30. Maybe one question I can allow, and we will conclude. And afterwards, again, you want further discussion? Yeah, 2 more questions, please, finally. The last 2 questions, please, because we have to pick up the time also.
Allow the people to speak.
Please, carry.
Okay. If no problem for finance, you can know. No issues.
Artificial intelligence. Machine intelligence.
Yes, please.
Artificial intelligence as well as machine intelligence. As it is there, both are misnomer.
No, please, others, please, silent.
Both are misnomer.
Please keep silence, please keep silence.
Intelligence is essentially associated with, inseparably associated with living organisms. Nothing else. No other thing can be attributed to intelligence. Okay, first thing. Second thing, we were talking about service industry. And service industry has revolutionized the world. In many countries, the major portion of the GDP is the contribution of the service industry. And concentrating on service industry will result in ignoring material products. Material production is very much essential for the survival of humankind. So we cannot ignore that sector. That is what I say. Just for food we have to cultivate. Nothing will come from the service industry for us to eat. And for the survival of human beings, food is essential, inevitable. So ignoring that sector, productive sector, production sector, particularly the agriculture, that will be detrimental. Okay, thank you.
Okay, agreed.
Can I just add one here? This algorithm thing, the question is, well, algorithm is very important. We all are using these gadgets. Is there a question as to who should control algorithm? This is important also because we often see that because of AI, and this has increased worldwide, states which are controlling the entire AI technology, so to say, their ability to control citizens is increasing. Control citizens. Yeah, is increasing very fast. This has happened in US, this has happened in Israel, this is happening in China. This is also now being visible in India. So this control component of AI, how to free it, how to make it democratic, how to give it into the hands of people. This is a question that I suppose should be deliberated upon when we deal with this technology.
Okay. So, artificial intelligence is producing much more in less time. Artificial intelligence is very good. Mobile is very good. Google is very good. Everything is very good. Wonderful. We are all using these technologies and they are rapidly developing. That everybody accepts. But we also want the United States imperialism led by Trump to bring socialism. We want them to bring equality, not to exploit. We want them not to exploit the gig workers. So this cannot happen. The new technology is being used by certain vested interests in their own way. And therefore the lesson is for the democratic, revolutionary, socialist forces to understand and use it in their own way. The Soviet Union collapsed mainly because of refusal to adopt electronics and computer system. That was one of the sources of the collapse of the Soviet Union. Although it was it was the first to go into the space. Unless the society uses new productive forces, unless the new society is based upon new productive forces and information forces, it cannot survive. In that case, capitalism and imperialism will dominate. Technology, nature of technology is one thing, and the use of that nature of technology is another thing. Steam power was a new technology. Steam engine was a new technology. The use of that was different. The steam power, new technology, was used for 2 world wars. So we cannot, on the basis of that, ignore the use of that technology, ignore the control of that technology. The Industrial Revolution produced many contradictions, many destructions, many bad things, many exploitation. Large number, millions of people were killed, tortured, thrown out of the work, out of employment, and so on and so forth. That did not mean that steam engine and steam technology should be rejected or it was bad and all that. The question was how to use it. Lenin's formula was, for example, communism is equal to Soviet power plus electrification. According to the scientific theory of social development, every next stage of social development is higher than the previous one. So socialism also has to be higher in every way than the existing society. So the question is not that this technology is dangerous, but the question is how to use this technology. Why has it been allowed to go into the hands of imperialism or corporates? Why it has been allowed? That is the question before the democratic forces. Why the democratic forces have not anticipated, have not seen in advance. Why it has been seen in advance these technologies? Why it has been left to the so-called bourgeois theorists? Why the initiative has been allowed to go into their hands? Why there is no materialism and imperial-criticism? And why, do you know why and imperial-criticism was written? How was it written? It was written in the context of the split in atom, not in the context of some socio-economic political crisis. It was because there was a split in atom and there was a discussion on the existence or non-existence of matter that Lenin wrote imperialism and materialism and imperial-criticism in 1909. And he contradicted the theory that the split in atom and discovery of electron has led to the collapse of materialism. And he said that this book should be widely circulated in the ranks of social democratic movement. So we cannot ignore the new developments, new discoveries in sciences and in technology. Yes, productivity has increased like anything. Production has increased like anything. That is a possibility for us. That is a possibility for those forces which can distribute better what is produced. What is produced in 1 hour can be distributed, should be distributed to the masses. For that, the social and economic structure has to be different. That is what we are seeking, we should be seeking, we should be discussing. Surplus value, whether it has ended, it is going towards finishing. We should be prepared for that. We should use those commodities with less and less value for distribution among the masses. How to distribute that? What political, economic and social structure we should build? Those forces who stand for social changes, what structure do they propose to create? That is the question. But that creation of a new society cannot be on the basis of old technology. The new technology has to be mastered. A technology which produces less value, a technology which produces less surplus value. This is only, it goes in the favor of democratic forces. It is a crisis of capitalism. Huh? Also less job market. How to create more jobs? The nature of the definition of jobs is changing. Universal income. The concept of universal income is coming. So with less work, more a better society can be created in theory. How to do it in practice? So in 21st century, the nature, the definition, the structure of socialism has to be different. It is not based on, it cannot be based on industrial relations. It cannot be based on industrial revolution, industrial means of production, industrial concepts. All that has to change before we create what people call, or what we have been calling socialism. That socialism is gone, but new socialism of 21st century has to be based upon quantum, has to be based upon electronics, has to be based upon artificial intelligence, machine intelligence. We can go on discussing where it is machine intelligence or artificial intelligence or whatever, but it has to be accepted that logic is being handed over to the machine. How to use that in the interest of restricting and eliminating the corporate monopolization and concentration of wealth. That is the task before the democratic forces. To some certain extent, it is happening. These forces are emerging in Latin America to certain extent, and in certain other countries. There are trends, there are features in world society, in countries, various countries, who are challenging the concentration of wealth and capital in their own way. How to create a new theory and new society. What will happen tomorrow? Suppose I am asking the question, if quantum computer comes, when quantum computer comes, then this computer will look like ancient Stone Age implement. The quantum computer has million times more computing capacity. You don't even have to ask the question to the computer. It will simply do things on your own, on its own. We have to prepare first. That is what I am trying. That is what the base paper is trying to anticipate, trying to warn. To anticipate the future also is our task, and therefore we cannot avoid the study and discussion of these questions that are coming. The future nowadays comes very fast. Earlier, past, present, future was the order of things. But today, the present becomes past very easily and future comes. 5 years before, there was no discussion on AI. Today, 5 years later in 2025, 26, everybody is talking about AI. So my question is, what is this socialism of AI based upon AI? Tomorrow the question will arise, what is the socialism based upon quantum forces? Similarly, it is like earlier asking the question, what was the socialism based upon steam power? After all, the theory of scientific socialism was based upon industrial productive forces. But that we cannot go on using as it is. It is our task to develop the theory of social change and equality, the society free from exploitation, based upon new productive forces, not old productive forces. Industrial revolution now cannot create a new society. And capitalism is in serious crisis in many ways, particularly in the context of productive forces, and that is why the politics today in the world, as we can see. Against that, there is a great opposition. The voices are being raised, but those voices have to come together, and for that we need a new theory of world society.
Thank you, Anilji. It's a beautiful discussion. Israel can go also still, but the time is considered. Thank you once again. We have to conclude, we have to understand the evolution of the tool. While accepting the latest technology, we have to increase the democratic discussion for a future, for a better future. here I want to stop, and we will continue the democratic sessions in coming days to come and coming years to come. It is a broad discussion. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me honor to present a wonderful session. Thank you, Ji. Thank you all.
I thank Dr. Jamindar for chairing this session, and I request Tanjore Medical College student Mano Deepan to honor our chairperson. No, really for you also for chairing this session. And we have to thank for you for coming also. Nowadays you are not coming alone. That is it. So that means, yeah. This is for who? Wow, this is not, this is, yeah, if Romila has come, it will be really good. See, we miss really Romila, thank you. Thank you. This is actually, we had a different plan. I just 1 or 2 minutes for announcement. We had a different plan. We want to get introduced because we know all great people here. And then, because of want of time, and I want to have the introduction properly, not in a hurry. So after lunch, we will have an introduction. In that introduction, please, in that introduction, your name and other details also you have to tell in short, so that we will know about your background also. The food token is there in every pouch, what we have given. And then the discussion will continue. You are here all the time for 2.5 days. You can continue your discussion everywhere. And then in that pouch we have a food token for breakfast, lunch and dinner for 1 day, and it is stapled, and you have to remove the staple and then give. For tomorrow also it is like that. For 3 days, breakfast, lunch and dinner tokens are there for today, tomorrow and day after tomorrow till lunch. Separate tokens you have to remove from the stapler and give it there. And then wear the tag. There are other people are also eating, other section, other meetings are also going on. So better to wear this tag and take the food token. Reassembling time is preferably 3 o'clock. Thank you.